just on the surface, announcement today, as we kind of figured was going to be the case. Ryan Huska, Calgary Flames head coach. What's your first reaction?
Good for him.
Definitely good for him.
Definitely good for him.
It's another internal candidate. That's 2 openings, 2 internal guys. And it's my gut is please be a head coach, because we don't know. We haven't seen him at this level as a head coach. Like, if this organization has gone to first-time coaches a lot and it's blown up on them a lot, but everyone who is a great head coach was also a first-time head coach. Let's hope he's one of those.
It's true. It's a good point you make.
It's very deep.
All great coaches at one point
We're a first-time head coach.
First-time head coach.
Yeah.
On the screen, if you're watching there, he's been doing it. He's been doing it a long time. If this is the path that you're supposed to take, you go in junior and assistant, then you're head coach, and then you're a head coach in the A, and then you're assistant in the A.
It's 20 years of coaching.
He's put some time in for sure.
And who has that wonderful stash in front of him in this photo?
That's a great question.
What is it? Dynamite mustache.
Oh, am I not figuring? Could that be Denny
Branson?
Gilbert? Oh, that is good Branson for
Is
sure.
it?
Yeah, it's a good call.
So why are white lids with a red jersey?
Well, is there red there too? Yeah. Didn't see that part.
Doesn't the white jersey have red?
Does the white? Yeah, I guess on the shoulders, right? You don't see any.
Mm.
So we're going with Gutty.
I think so.
I think it's got to be a Gutty.
Sorry,
Gotta be
I
a Gutty.
turned the corner.
No, that's
page
a
on it, but it's-
we're all thinking
excellent
it.
Duster.
You just said what we're all thinking. So
poor Huska, look at him. He's like, this bastard showing me up with that facial hair. I can't
Yeah.
get anything going on over here.
you hair growing sons of bitches.
Mr. Bigglesworth compared to this
Yeah.
mustache man.
You hairy prick. That's going to be the thing, right? Let the guy coach, let the team perform under him, but that is going to be the knock that I think happens to a lot of assistant coaches, particularly who are just nice guys. Can nice guys finish first?
Well, and it's the role, right? You're the buffer between the mean head coach and the players, and so you're trying to soften the blow. And when it's Daryl there, you absolutely are good cop, because we know who bad cop is. When Daryl's the head guy, and it's not always easy to go assistant to head, but there are a lot of guys that have also made it look easy. I don't know.
For me, again, I keep going back to it and saying it over and over. I think what will dictate his success is what the team's trying to do. Is he going to be put under a mandate of you better effing win now and get us back into the playoffs and finish first? Or is he going to be given some free reign and some different players? It is a youth movement. Is it, or you know what I mean? Is it the same? Get it.
I know it's going to start. I mean, this year it's make the playoffs. I would be stunned if it isn't. I mean, it's kind of been the owner's MO forever. So until it changes, we should expect it to be the same. But you're right. If it, I think you look at the next 2 years, you've got 7 UFAs at the end of this season. I think they'll certainly make some decisions on a few of them this summer, if not most of them, in terms of extend or trade. Maybe you carry a couple into the season as pieces that you could move at the deadline if things don't go well. And then the year after, you also got some guys coming off the books or that need new contracts. So this could be a very different looking team in 2 years than the one he's got. But I think the biggest wrinkle are the guys are going to be here now and in 2 years. And that's Kadri and that's Huberdeau.
The problem with you saying 2 years out is going to be different is that if he doesn't have success, he ain't here. You know what I mean? He's going to be going into a third year and they're going to be going, well, we're going with a different look, then is he part of it? Like, if it's win now mandate, which is fine, they got this lineup and these, guys with contracts, and you might not be able to move them or this or that. Okay, start winning. And if you don't win, then the change happens. We're going to go younger. I don't know. It's confusing.
Because just kind of running through my head, and I'll ask that question in a moment, but just being straight up, if you were let's just even put you in the top chair. If you're the owner, or what would your expectation, what would your goals be for the start of this season, Retro? Are you fully, regardless, you're looking at age only and it's a young league, are you wanting to start turning things over? Or are you saying, look, we got to give this group a chance to be a playoff team? What would your approach be for the start of this coming season?
I would have to look into it. I forget who I talked to. We were talking to someone, but ideally you do both.
Yeah, that's if you could do that, if you can somehow walk that tightrope, that would be a masterclass.
Right, like,
If
can
Craig
you-
Conroy can stay competitive and get younger over the next few years, that would be an absolute stroke of genius.
Right? Like, can you, are those young guys, can you bring them up and fill out a bottom, you know, a fourth line, for lack of a better term, with some energy, some, you know, but a fourth line that's expected to contribute. We said it when I was in Calgary. I think having the Wranglers there and playing at the Saddle Dome was totally underutilized, and a lot of that'll be blamed on Darryl. Sure, they should be moving guys in and out all the time, and putting them in positions to succeed. Okay, you've been up for 2 weeks, Coronado, down to the minors for 2 weeks, and bring someone else up. Keep all those guys engaged as well.
Yeah, and it just wasn't really part of the way Darryl wanted to do business. And I feel like a lot of people in the org probably were disappointed that there wasn't more opportunity for those guys to swing through. And I guess that's also what happens when you show up to camp and there's not a lot of vacancies. Like when you sign Trevor Lewis, who you still could have, found a guy like him on waivers any week of the season. It's just one less roster spot for a kid to be in, right?
So to answer your question, Boom, I think as an owner, that's what I would be curious in asking. Mr. Huska, how are you going to get us younger but win now?
Conroy or Huska?
Because that's the thing. Huska's gonna try and win regardless of what he's given. If it's a bunch of 33-year-olds or 18-year-olds, just win.